Up until now, you might have realized that sometimes things kind of happen so coincidentally that we cannot even understand how can this be a coincidence. Sometimes it feels like everything is just part of a plan of someone we don't even know. So that is what we are going to talk about, that there is no such thing as free will. Everything is designed by someone for someone. It is a same scenario as you did not choose to click on this video. I know that sounds like a gimmick, but it isn't. By the end of this series, I am going to show you the science and the philosophy that suggest every decision you have ever made, including the one that brought you here, was decided before you were even aware of deciding it. Most people will reject the sentence immediately, not because they have examined it and found it false, but because it is unbearable. It threatens the one thing we try to protect more fiercely than almost anything else, the belief that we are the author of our own life. So let's start slow, and let's start with a man who saw this coming over 300 years before neuroscience could prove it. Spinoza Stone. In 1677, the philosopher Baruch Spinoza wrote something that still unsettles people today. Imagine, he said, a stone is thrown through the air. Now imagine that stone becomes conscious mid-flight. It would feel the wind, feel its own motion, and because it doesn't know about the hand that threw it, or the force behind that hand, or the arms, or the muscles, or the brain that commanded the arm, it would believe it was flying by its own free choice. The stone isn't lying, it genuinely feels free. It simply doesn't have access to the cause behind its own motion. Spinoza's time was brutal. We are the stone. We feel free not because we are free, but because we are ignorant of the cause that moves us. Every thought that chooses, every desire that wants, every impulse you call yours arrived in your mind the way the wind arrives at the stone, already in motion, already caused, already decided somewhere upstream of your awareness. What free will actually means. This is where most conversation about free will collapses into confusion. So let's be precise. When philosophers talk about free will, they don't mean can you do what you want? Of course you can. You want coffee, you can get coffee anytime. Nobody disrupts that. The real question is harder. Could you have wanted something other than what you wanted? Given the exact same brain, the exact same history, the exact same prior seconds of existence, could the coffee wanting version of you have at the exact instant wanted tea instead? With nothing different about you, your past, your or your brain state? If the answer is no, and every serious strand of modern neuroscience says it's no, then your desires are not something you chose. They are something that happened to you. You didn't pick your personality, your instinct, your cravings, your fears, or the 20 years of experience that built the mind currently reading this sentence. That mind was handed to you. This is not nihilism. Here is the misunderstanding almost everybody makes at this point. They think no free will means nothing matters or nobody is responsible for anything. That's not where this goes. Over the next 9 parts, you will see that the death of free will doesn't kill morality, it transforms it. It kills blame, it kills the idea that people deserve suffering. but it makes room for something arguably more honest and more humane in its place. We are not there yet. First, you need to see the evidence, not philosophical speculation, but the hard, repeatable, published science that shows your brain making decisions before you know you have made them. In 1983, a neuroscientist named Benjamin Libert wired people's brain to a machine and asked them to do one thing. It was a simple thing: move their finger whenever they felt like it, and note the exact moment they felt the urge to move. What he found in their brainwaves hundreds of milliseconds before the movement would go on to become one of the most quoted and most misunderstood experiments in the history of neuroscience. It's where we are going next, so stay tuned.